I'm so sick of people talking about how AI is going to take everyone's jobs. How many times do I have to tell you? I don't care. I'd much rather be homeless and unemployed than listen to and smell another man wearing this particular shirt going off on how good AI is getting and something, AGI, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, transhumanism. Just win already, AI, so I don't have to keep hearing about how you're going to win one day. Take over so we can finally get back to talking about interesting things like photosynthesis and Ezra Klein and how much ISO Speed loved his visit to China. It is funny that Speed visiting China will go down as the most important trip in geopolitics since Nixon went to China in 1972. Look at how all these think tanks and mandarins are writing about it. Fucking bullshit. No one cares when I go to Asia, but when Nixon goes to China, Speed goes to China, John goes to Syria, people won't shut up about it. See how much better this video got as soon as I stopped talking about AI? Which is a shame because today's video is about AI. But not about how AI is taking jobs off of humans. I'm not that much of a hack. No, I've actually uncovered something incredible. Not AI trained humans, but humans trained on AI. There's this mysterious group of humans that somehow got a time machine, went to the future to watch as much AI generated slop content as they could, came back, and have been replicating AI for years, even before it was a thing. Ever heard of Sky News? Sky News seems to have been trained on this AI slop channel that I found called Outback Crisis, named after when Alexa had to hide an SD card up his ass at Pine Gap. I've got to share it with you. This is such a weird channel that, just judging from the quality, appears to be almost entirely AI generated, from the scripting to the videos to the voiceover. It popped up in October of last year. Oh, right around the murmurs of an election. Ooh. And has just been making videos slamming the Albanese government ever since. Huge coincidence, I know. Look how much mileage they're getting from AI-generated thumbnails of his face. Ooh, burning the flag while smoking a cigar. And people got mad at Joe Hockey. Outback Crisis has the political positions of either standard Sky News drones, or sometimes, for lack of a better label, I describe them as the heterodox AI-generated right. You know, your Malcolm Roberts, Alex Antic, or Gerard Rennick talking points, which I have to say are better than the Sky News talking points, but a little larpy. They just wish so much they were MAGA. They're just not alpha enough to be fully MAGA. Unlike ex-Ashfield councillor Nick Adams, lad. Sorry, I just had to insert that in here because Trump made some Greek guy from Ashfield his ambassador for Malaysia because he's just that good at rage bait tweets, apparently. I got a hooders, I eat rare steaks, I lift extremely heavy weights, I read the Bible every night, I'm pursued by copious amounts of women. I'm wildly successful. I have the physique of a Greek god. Facts. I have an IQ over 180. I'm extremely charismatic. They hate this. Boasting about enjoying Hooters has got to be the second biggest tell that someone is in the closet after speaking and looking like this.
G'day Patriots, Nick Adams here with a brand new book from Mar-a-Lago to Mars.
Now, let's take a look at some of these slop videos that Sky News was trained on. 10 Australian cities with most illegal immigrants in 2025.
While politicians tell you immigration is under control, over 70,000 people are living in Australia illegally right now. And the cities where they're concentrated will shock you.
80,000 people who came to Australia on short visas are refusing to leave, despite the government rejecting their request for ongoing asylum. That's according to new figures.
I mean, I've made plenty of videos about the need to slow down migration in Australia, but if you are falling for this, fuck me. I don't even think there's 10 Australian cities, let alone 10 that are getting swarmed with illegal immigrants. If you want to get to 10 cities, I think you have to count the Central Coast. And I thought that was just a bunch of caravan parks we dump our pedophiles in to keep them away from the Sydney kids. Fuck me, the video is good though.
City number 5, Adelaide, the under-the-radar choice. Adelaide might not seem like an obvious choice for unlawful residents, but its smaller size and tight-knit communities can actually provide advantages. The city's lower profile means less immigration enforcement attention compared to the major capitals.
Adelaide, the under-the-radar choice. Only AI could be that diplomatic. It should have read Adelaide, the why not just go back to Dhaka choice.
City number 8, Darwin, the Northern Gateway. Darwin's proximity to Asia makes it a natural entry point for those seeking to enter Australia, and some choose to overstay their visas rather than return home.
Darwin, the Northern Gateway.
Sorry, the Northern Gateway.
It's a parallel of what Dutton did, attempting to import every US political flashpoint and pretend this is an issue in Australia. 70,000 illegal immigrants represents like 0.3% of the Australian population. That is minuscule compared to almost every other country in the OECD. The USA, for instance, probably has over 11 million, which is around 3.3% of their population, literally 10 times higher. The issue is legal migration in Australia. But I'm not getting into that today. I'm just bringing it up to illustrate that AI-generated rage-baked political slop is being pumped into your uncle's algorithm, and that could be why he's talking about Toowoomba as if it's SoCal. There's also this video, which for some reason, when you share the link, it says, Rick Astley's never gonna give you up, but then when you click on it, you get reverse Rickrolled and have to watch something way worse. Australia keeps bailing out criminals. This legal system is a joke! A video that just from its thumbnail pretty much blames Albanese for individual magistrates' decisions to grant some alleged offenders bail.
Right now, as you are watching this video, violent offenders who should be locked up are walking the streets of Australia because our legal system has completely collapsed. Those charged with taking lives, serious assault, and violent offenses are being granted bail and released back into the community to commit more offenses while ordinary Australians live in fear.
I don't know. It's kind of exhausting that people are actually falling for this shit, but glass half full, it's also really funny and does give me a chance to give you guys another Year 5 civics lesson. Oh! The Prime Minister has nothing to do with the state's criminal laws or the state's judiciary, let alone any single decision to grant an offender bail. He's prevented by both the separation and division of powers. Dutton running on crime in the last election was kind of the same as if he was running on bringing back the monorail or those rocket playgrounds that got bolted up in the 1990s. Really awesome before you think about it, when you realize it's delusional. And also not a federal issue. When you put that in the context of the fact that we have the lowest offender rate since Australia started recording those statistics, yet you're upset that unspecified people are getting bail. Unless you're a victim of crime yourself, you probably have a broader problem with the British common law system in general rather than Albanese. Or, more likely scenario, you're one of those paranoids that wishes you lived in the US and loves to dream out self-defense scenarios. Excuse me, do you know where the bus stop is?
Oh, finally, I'm getting mugged. I've been fantasising about this scenario for years.
Judging from the comments, that's the type of person Outback Crisis attracts. And I'm imagining the desired base of the Liberal Party. We have a right to protect ourselves. Government can't protect us, then we must protect ourselves and our families. We need armed militias in communities and the Second Amendment. Well, for a Second Amendment, I think you need a First Amendment and the American Constitution. What if we sue the people who can't protect us? Yes, someone should look into that. Violent crimes get a slap on the wrist, but if you don't pay your $200 tax bill, you'll go to jail. This country is cooked. Who's only paying $200 in tax? Again, it's the same playbook as the illegal immigration video. Take a genuine issue from the US and then pretend it's relevant to Australia to shit on Albanese. But crime and illegal immigration just aren't as big of an issue here. They're really, really low compared to the rest of the world, or our recent history for that matter. It'd be like if an American politics channel was obsessed with the fate of Chappelle Corby and blamed Brandon for the length of her imprisonment. That actually would make more sense even if I think about it now, because Chappelle's a fucking global icon and she didn't deserve what happened to her. Make that your next video, Outback Crisis. It's a much more moving idea to the Australian psyche than the next one. Australia will collapse overnight. Fuck, like Venezuela, but faster.
Venezuela has, of today, the highest inflation in the world.
Venezuelans today cannot eat. You see people eating from the garbage.
Hospitals that have massive deaths of newborns, and there is no access to medication.
A cycle of violence and street protest.
Families seeking shelter resorting to pitching tents in South Brisbane, with the state's housing crisis showing no signs of slowing.
They're part of a growing army of Aussies who take on a side hustle, a second job to survive.
Okay. Not to trivialise economic circumstances forcing you to pick up the side hustle of whippersnipping, but I think it's just a little bit jarring when you put it next to the context of mass deaths of newborns and people eating garbage. And again, I feel like I've heard this trope before, but when you're doing AI slop for Australians, why even bother with a new playbook, eh? Fuck, Australia's cultural cringe is high. If we're even importing America's specific declinist beliefs about what country they're turning into, can't we at least make it region specific for us? Like, just say we're turning into a shithole like New Zealand, for example. Again, like the recent video where I argue with fugitive journalist Shane Deal. I feel a little silly arguing publicly with AI, but I feel I should refute the very spurious claims in this video that Australia's public spending is putting us on track to become Venezuela overnight, but faster. Seeing as it is AI though, I do feel entitled to respond with AI. Please give me rebuttal to the argument that Australia's public spending and debt will make Australia collapse overnight like Venezuela, but faster. Oh, I'm not reading all of that. Oh. Would you like a simplified or more conversational version of this for social media or debate? Yes, simplify it and make it more pro-Anthony Albanese, please. Bottom line, Australia is nothing like Venezuela, and under Anthony Albanese, we are staying stable, modern and fair, even while managing global challenges. Let's deal in facts, not fear. I tried to make it add some jokes at the expense of fatties, women and Italians, yet they weren't any good, so thank God I'm still in a job for now. Until they resurrect Mecha Hitler. But see, AI slop is just wrong. Of course Australia is not fucking turning into Venezuela. You can say that we have poor economic complexity, but Venezuela's entire economy is oil and reggaeton, which actually, come to think of it, removing reggaeton from their economy actually would probably make it more productive. But still, not at all comparable to Australia. And anyway, Outback Crisis isn't even making decent arguments about reggaeton. It's now just feeding off the time travelers who stole its shtick.
Chapter 3. The Spending Addiction.
Yeah, but also Bronwyn. The $1 trillion of debt, it is a shameful number for the country. I'm not going to pretend in any other way. But you were there, you sat in that parliament, you were part of that government that tried once to do something, and they got handed their head for it. And we had the politics to today. We have an opposition that is now the government that argued against any level of restraint for the past 10 years. Any level. Absolutely. And now they're pretending, oh, the $1 trillion, the credit card bill's too big. They wanted it to be bigger.
You see? You think you come to watch some nice AI vomit, and you get Paul Murray jump scares. Again, do I really need to explain that Australia's economy is not the same as your household economy? National debt is not like the unsecured credit card debt Paul Murray had to take out to fund his Funko Pop collection. This isn't the video for that, but what it is the video for is to warn you that I think you're going to see a lot more of this in the future. The Australian Electoral Commission should probably be wary of this, as it's potentially political advertising, and I really had a hard time believing someone is making these videos for the passion of it. And I think that I'm one of the only people in the country that can make that claim safely. Stay tuned for a video that is already out of date on Victoria's opinion polls. But, I mean, either way, I'm so interested to see who is behind these slop channels. And I'd also like to point out that this really cements my points about the whinge merchant political content creators emerging online, which is that they don't give a fuck about what is true. They're all just feeding the algorithm exactly what it wants, which is paranoid fantasies about Australia's imminent demise. I mean, Christ, when you've got a robot that is essentially programmed to get clicks about Australian political content, all of it is, the Australian economy's gonna collapse tomorrow. We're getting gypped on our resources. The middle class is vanishing. Housing crisis is getting worse. The same shit they always whinge about. None of it's solution oriented. None of it's interested in pointing out that there already are solutions being implemented. They're not even interested in reporting reality. It's all just fucking rage bait, trying to attract this market of hyper online psychos for cash. This is what is replacing the old media, and still funnier than the project, so unlike 10 plus, it is a plus. Also, if you know of any more of these AI slop channels, send them this way, because maybe we will do a review on them, as I swear to God, this is where all the independent thinkers get their thoughts from.